Why you should not be afraid of carbs. We have all heard about low-carb diets and carbohydrates making us fat. But is this really true? This video will give you a short explanation about why we need carbs and why they are actually good for us. Not all carbs, by the way. Let's start. Which food items do you think about when hearing the word carbs? Is it donuts? French fries? Pastry? It might surprise you, but these foods have about equal amounts of calories from carbs and fat. Usually, calorie-rich foods and plant-based meals are associated with the term carbohydrates. However, animal products can also contain carbs. Mammals produce lactose, milk sugar, to feed their babies. Many people consume the milk of cows and other mammals and thus take in animal-derived carbohydrates. In general, carbohydrates are one of the 3 macronutrients of our diet. The other 2 are fat and protein. Several nutrition associations recommend the intake of all 3 macronutrients as shown in the pie chart. For an average activity level, a minimum of 55% of total calories from carbohydrates, a maximum of 30% from fat, and a maximum of 15% from protein is recommended. Many people, especially in the US, tend to describe food items by a specific macronutrient. Meat is protein, potatoes are carbs, avocado is fat. This does not reflect reality at all. All naturally occurring foods contain all 3 macronutrients, to varying degrees. According to these nutrition associations, a minimum energy intake of 55% of calories from carbohydrates is recommended. Minimal requirements of protein and fat are covered by 10% each, leaving a large degree of freedom for reasonable dietary choices. Health outcomes do not rely on macronutrient ratios as much as people might expect. They rely more on the type and quality of the foods you eat. Theoretically, these macronutrient ratios can be achieved by eating sugar, oil and protein powder, which does not constitute a healthy diet at all, as you certainly know. What does quality mean in the context of food? The most important aspects are high nutrient density, along with low calorie density, allowing us to get the highest intake of health-promoting nutrients per calorie. Many high carbohydrate foods fall into this category. For example, fruits, especially berries, starchy vegetables, such as sweet potatoes and squash, intact grains and legumes, such as beans and lentils. One prime example of a healthy population eating a diet high in carbohydrate-rich food is the so-called Blue Zone in Okinawa, Japan. Their traditional diet, producing the highest number of healthy centenarians in the world, consists of 70% carbohydrates, especially sweet potatoes making up 60% of their calorie intake. Their diet is focused around plant-based foods and is low in fat. They are in good shape, so it seems that a diet rich in carbs does not necessarily make you fat. Carbs are actually the preferred energy supplier for your brain and muscles. It is true that our body is able to produce glucose from the other macronutrients, but it is a rather inefficient process. A lack of energy from carbs could lead to fatigue and mood swings. Our liver and muscles can store very large amounts of energy from carbohydrates in form of glycogen. Regulated by the hormone insulin, and depending on the insulin sensitivity of liver cells, the liver continuously releases glucose into our blood to fuel our brain. This represents our fasting blood sugar level. Our brain burns 60% of all blood glucose. Our body is very well adapted to digest, store, and regulate large amounts of carbohydrates. So, before your body would even think about making fat out of carbs, you would have to eat a very large amount of carbs on top of being in a calorie surplus. It is much easier for our bodies to store just fat as fat, instead of first transforming carbs into fat and then store them. What kind of carbs should you eat? Well, you should go for fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, especially intact grains, and legumes such as beans and lentils. These food groups are always very healthy and you should try to eat them every day. Carbs in form of sweets and white bread are not recommendable. These foods let your blood sugar spike and might give you cravings later. The healthy fiber is missing from these foods, depriving your gut flora of energy, while depriving yourself of all the health-promoting effects of a healthy gut microbiome. We hope you liked this video. If you did, we would appreciate a thumbs up. Do you have any questions? Feel free to let us know in the comments and we will try to answer your questions in an upcoming video. For more content on eating a healthy diet, please subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you next time.